walking through the field just to check things out. We just got a pretty heavy rainfall. Again, nothing new this year. But there's one quick thing I just really wanted to point out while I'm out here. Just kind of testing the moisture in the soil. We really haven't had rain for a good probably 5 to 7 days here, which has been amazing. And now we're versed with some pretty heavy thunderstorms coming through overnight. We just had our first blast come through probably about an hour ago of pretty heavy thunderstorm, heavy rain, lightning, thunder. I have spinach, not here. We just laid some plastic for onions for the winter. But I have some spinach in some fields that's just starting to pop up, which, could use a tad bit of moisture. Those seeds are probably only about ½ inch under the soil. But what I wanted to show you right here is I'm feeling the moisture, kind of feeling where that moisture is as well. And like I said, I just checked, we just got a 1/4 inch of rain out of that little storm, and it was heavy. And what I want to explain about heavy rain versus light rain, and I'm going to do this quick because I know it's dark. Heavy rain penetrates the top of the soil. So maybe your first, you can kind of see right here, your first inch, maybe not even ½ inch, like that's it. That's as much as that penetrates, what you're seeing right there. Because it's so heavy, it's so hard, it just pummels the ground. So I'm digging down right here, like here's that layer right here that really took in that moisture. But I'm digging down here, like, I don't know, I might be an inch or two down. This soil right here, it's saturated. There's moisture here, but it's not like this top layer at all. It's kind of actually has a dry texture to it, where if you pick this up, you're probably not gonna get, it's not that wet, but you can feel, you kind of see how that clumps like that. There's moisture there in that top layer. But if I dig down here, see how that's a lot more clumpy, breaks up a lot quicker. So that moisture from that heavy rainfall is what I'm getting at. Is it didn't penetrate down. Okay, it only hit the top maybe ½ inch at most, which is creating a lot of issues for us, especially with small seeded stuff, or ground we're trying to keep a little, I guess, fresher, if you will, or kind of stable, because this creates a lot of problems over time. You got small seed that might be sitting right here, and where this moisture is only getting down a 1/4 inch, and you might be down a ½ inch. This ground's going to crust in a couple days, and that seed might not be able to push up through. That seed's also not going to get the adequate moisture that's up here, because it's not going to sink down. With these heavy rains, we're just getting moisture on the top, not saturated through. So what I'm getting at is, with the lighter rains, that the moisture or the rainfall is actually saturating into the soil. So I could dig down, I want to be able to dig down 2 or 3 inches. This is a little hard because we were driving over it earlier, but I want to dig down a good couple inches. I want to dig down like this, and I want to see, maybe not as wet as this, but I want to see that moisture. I want to see that moisture down here, down in the root zone, down where these seeds are trying to germinate. And that's what we've been dealing a lot with this year, is that the heavy rainfalls, they're just penetrating here. They're not penetrating farther down into the soil where your roots are sitting. A transplanted crop, probably where that cell is sitting, about right there, or your plant's up here. It doesn't matter what the heck's up here. The roots are down here. Your seeds are down below this line. the root is going to be pushing downward, not upward. And it's creating issues. It's because, like I said, this is going to create a hard pan. This is going to get really hard, if you will, just like that. It's going to dry out. It's going to dry eventually. It's going to create just a hard crust where water isn't going to get through this because it's like asphalt in a way. So we have to go through and cultivate, break it up so the water can actually saturate through. I was actually just out cultivating earlier, right before this rainfall, to loosen up some ground so the moisture that we just got right here would do a little better at saturating into the ground instead of just running off. Because that's what's going to happen here eventually if this just doesn't get worked at all. It's going to create a hard pan on top, and it's going to be just kind of like an asphalt driveway. It's going to be a place for the water to run instead of penetrate. That's why the importance of cover crops is really important. You know, keeping something covered on your soil so it can help break up this soil, kind of hold the soil in place at the same time, not creating leach. You know, I hate grass, but this is a perfect example. You know, this grass right here, it's actually kind of dry on top. That's probably mostly because that moisture is getting, you know, down into this soil a little better, because there's something here to kind of block the raindrops, to take it and hold it in and get it down into the soil where it's needed. So yeah, sorry you can't see my face in this. I'm dirty from a day's work anyways, but I just wanted to give that quick excerpt on what I just experienced, looking at the rain gauge quick, and seeing what this storm's done. And we'll see what more rain we get overnight. We're supposed to get another thunderstorm rolling through, so we're gonna cross our fingers here, hope that the spinach that's just popping doesn't get sunk farther into the soil, or doesn't create a hard crust pan where it's not gonna be able to push up. And yeah, so just another 2021 experience we're dealing with, and hope for the better. Wet though, you can see this is a low spot, just water standing, not saturating anywhere. Just it's too wet, too much moisture. Low spots are holding water because it's raining too hard and it's not letting it penetrate. It's just hitting that ground and flushing away, running off, standing. So a lot of issues this year, but that's one thing that I think would be really interesting to some people, regarding the rainfall we've been getting and the different types of rainfall. There really is a difference between a nice light rain over extended periods of time and a fast, heavy rain over the course of, say, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. Really a difference there in the quality and what it actually does to your crops, to the soil. It's not the best thing in the world. So irrigation's a big thing. You know, I'll get into that more probably next year as we, you know, deal with maybe more of drought conditions, hopefully. And that's that. You know, in lieu of what I was saying with my hands in the dirt there, the difference between a hard, fast, heavy rain over either 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or a half an hour is a world of difference versus maybe 2-3 hours of light rain. And that's where I'm getting into that penetration factor of the rain into the soil, into the foliage of your crops, through your cover crops, you name it, whatever is over the top of your soil. But specifically bare ground soil, where you have small seeded crops, or you have newly seeded transplants, or anywhere up to established plants, is that heavy rainfall is really creating more of a negative impact for the surrounding area than that light rain, because it's not penetrating down a couple inches. It's only penetrating a a quarter to a half inch, and creating that hard pack on top, like I was talking after. So, like I said, we just got a quarter inch of rain. You know, we're supposed to be getting another maybe quarter to a half inch of rain, and we'll be lucky to get a light rain after this. It'd be really nice if we are going to get more to penetrate through. And while that soil is still pliable on the surface, getting that nice light rain to kind of keep it pliable and slowly work the water down instead of across is really going to be beneficial. Hopefully, we're going to cross our fingers. We clearly can't control what's going on. This year has just been crazy weather-wise, and I've been hoping for some rain actually in the past day or two. I wanted a light rain for my spinach crop that's just starting to pop up. So there's probably seeds that are just starting to germinate as well here and there, depending on the moisture and the compaction between the seed and the soil. And that's kind of worrisome because this heavy rain could push seed farther down, could create that hard pack like I'm saying, and not letting moisture get to that actual seed, and either sprouting prematurely to the others in its area or pushing it too far to where it's not going to be able to push up through the soil. There's lots of variables here, and one quick rainstorm can really change negatively or positively the scenario. So we're learning. Not much we can do about it. There might be mitigation methods. I'm sure there are. Money's always a factor there. But one thing I decided to do for my last setting of spinach, because I've lost my first two between drought and excessive rainfall, I just planted a bunch more than I would, a bunch more, and just in hopes that at least half of it will make it, because we're really looking for a cash crop for the fall and spring to cover our butts for what this season has brought to us. So, quick thing on irrigation there. If you have any more questions or you want to see some maybe in the day views, I can do that as well, just to give an idea. And we'll do an update after whatever rain we get tonight. This is the 15th of September, so we will do one on the 16th. We'll do a quick excerpt, see what that soil looks like in the same spot tomorrow after more rain or maybe no rain. But yeah, have a good night.